We'll start this module with an IDG oil low pressure fault. So, let's assume that you are the pilot non-flying. You are in flight and everything is normal. Click on the forward arrow to activate the failure. On the engine warning display, read the title of the failure. Observe the IDG low pressure indication in amber on the ECAM electrical page. Observe the IDG1 fault light illuminated on the electrical panel. These indications mean that the oil pressure in IDG1 is not sufficient. We can see from the blue action line that we are required to disconnect the IDG from the engine. The pilot flying will ask you to perform the ECAM actions. Perform the ECAM action. The push-button switch guard is up. You can now disconnect IDG1. Continue the ECAM action. Caution: press the IDG push-button switch until the Gen fault light comes on, but not more than 3 seconds to avoid damage to the disengage solenoid. As you can see, Generator 2 has automatically taken over, and it is now supplying the entire electrical network. On the ECAM electrical page, an amber disk indication has replaced the previous low pressure indication, meaning that IDG1 is now disconnected. The IDG number is in white to indicate that engine 1 is still running. Let's look at the generator 1 indications for a moment. Gen in amber means generator 1 has abnormal parameters. One in white means engine 1 is still running. %% load in green means that the load is still within the normal range. $0 and 0 Hz in amber mean that the voltage and the frequency are outside the normal range. The amber fault light illuminated in the generator 1 push-button switch means that Gen 1 is not supplying the system. Alongside the Gen 1 box, a white galley shed indication has appeared, meaning that the system has automatically shed the galley equipment to decrease the load on the remaining generator. If available, the APU may be started, and the APU generator can then be used. After review and confirmation from the pilot flying, clear the electrical page. The status page is displayed for review. You can see in the Inoperative Systems column that the main galley and Gen 1 are now inoperative. After review and confirmation from the pilot flying, clear the status page. ECAM action completed. You have studied an IDG oil low pressure fault. We will now see a generator 2 overload fault. Let's assume we are in flight with no previous faults. Click on the forward arrow to activate the failure. On the engine warning display, read the title of the failure. Observe the generator and load indications in amber on the ECAM electrical page, indicating that the load is abnormal. The galley fault light illuminated on the electrical panel, helping you to locate the switch. The galley will be switched off to reduce the load. Notice that there is no fault light in the generator 2 push-button switch because the generator is still powering AC bus 2. The pilot flying will ask you to perform the ECAM actions. Perform the ECAM action. You can see on the ECAM electrical page the galley shed indication has appeared. The generator 2 load is back to a normal value. After review and confirmation from the pilot flying, clear the electrical page. The status page is displayed for review. You can see that the galley is inoperative. After review and confirmation from the pilot flying, clear the status page. No, press the status key or either clear key. ECAM action completed.